Ciao and welcome to episode 55, where we are telling you all about the historic river city of Verona. Now, you might know Verona for a famous balcony from a Shakespeare play, or the Verona Arena, which is older than the Colosseum. We do tell you about those, but first we will give you the grand tour as we explore all around the old city, from Castle Vechio and its famous bridge across the raging Adige river and up the funicular to Castel San Pietro for the most incredible views of the whole city. Lyle is blown away by some art that we see all about Dante in the Castel, and, I didn't even know he was such an art connoisseur. Of course, we have drinks with a view before finding our way back down the hill to the incredible Duomo. The artwork in this church is incredible. Come with us as we wander the famous Piazza Erbe and Piazza Bra and find a fabulous bar where the locals were lining up to get in, and we were lucky enough to be there early and snagged a great table. Listen to the end to hear about the live concert inside the Verona Arena we bought tickets to and the famous singer we saw. And here's a hint, they call him Italy's Tom Jones. And we also tell you what happened after we left the arena and the fun we had. So enjoy episode 55, all about Verona. Cheers! And welcome to the Beach Travel Wine Podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Leanne.
And I'm Lyle. And this is the travel podcast for beach-loving, wine-drinking couples over 50.
So if that sounds like you, grab yourself a drink, sit back, relax and listen as we go travelling the world, one wine at a time.
Cheers.
Buongiorno.
Ciao, baby.
Let's go with it, I reckon.
Boy.
Good morning, everybody. We are back in Italia, and today we are podcasting all about Verona, aren't we?
Yeah, we headed off to Verona from Trieste. I've got to say I'm a little bit disappointed leaving Trieste, even though, you're disappointed every time you leave these places. Trieste was pretty special.
But
so
is Verona.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was a really, really windy morning, the morning we left.
Yeah.
We had to catch the train from the train station, obviously, and before we got on the train, we had Leanne got the old coffee and croissant.
I did.
That was
we were able to walk to the station.
Yeah, just under €7 for the coffee and croissant. There's a little bit of French in there coming out.
And the train station was pretty easy. Like the platform we had to get on was right in front of the cafe. So
yeah, it was perfect. Like the train from Trieste to because we had to catch two trains.
Yeah,
the train from Trieste to Venezia, that was about 2 3/4 hours, about €20.
Yeah,
and then we had to catch the train for Venezia to Verona. And that was only about an hour, and that was €20 also. Look, we only had about 15 minutes, but
to change trains.
Bit of panic, as there always is. I think we've really got to be a little bit more patient and look for the elevator rather than either walk down the stairs with the bags or up the stairs to the next platform.
Yeah, we were following people that were showing us where to go, so that was the difference with the trains. Just a quick thing with the trains, there's regional trains and then there's the fast trains. So the first one was a regional train, and you don't get an allocated seat on those, and you can actually put the luggage sort of in at your legs, can't you? But then the fast trains, you do get an allocated seat, and there's room up the top for luggage. There's also room in between the seats on those, but so you get that allocated seat, which is quite nice to know that you've got your seat to go to. So, and also the Venice station. There's two Venice train stations. So, there's the one right in the main sort of area, the tourist area,
Grand Canal area.
Yes, or the one that we went is
on the mainland.
Yeah, on the mainland. Yeah. So, don't get confused with that, and it's quite a big station. Yes.
Correct.
All right. So
now the trains are very punctual.
Yes,
they leave on the second. Basically, they're clean, they're comfortable, and they're safe. Everybody sort of sticks to themselves. There's no loud, obnoxious people. That they're just very, very, they're very, very comfortable.
Well, there's security and there's people walking around the train too sometimes.
Sure, yeah, and your tickets are checked, and they were checked on both trains.
Yeah, that's true.
and they do have the capacity to check your ticket on your phone. So average size suitcase will fit between the seats in the second class trains, which you just brought up.
Yeah.
When we finally arrived, the taxi rank was directly outside station, which was perfect.
Yeah. You had to go to the toilet and it cost you €1 before.
Yeah, I did. I had to walk from one end of the bloody station to the other. But yeah, it cost €1, and I'm thinking, I haven't got a zack on me, any money at all. Anyway, so I tried and I used my debit card, and it worked. It was fine. Yeah, for €1.
I was standing at the front of the train station watching one taxi leave, and then the next one leave, and then the next one leave, and the next one leave, and I'm like, oh, come on, Lyle, we'll run out of taxis. But luckily, the taxi driver we got was fabulous. You know,
he was great.
He took us right to where we had to be dropped off in the old town. Sort of did a bit of the old getting in and around cobblestone streets with a bit of manoeuvrability, didn't he? And,
you made the call like it was a little bit like Sevilla. You know, you had to go up one way and then you couldn't go that way, and it was one way. And anyway, eventually, we got there.
I thought we were like there was like a office for the apartment, but there wasn't. It was so I should have contacted the lady earlier. She'd been sending me messages on WhatsApp. For some reason, I didn't get them until I went into WhatsApp and had it, and there they were. But I rang her, and she came downstairs, which luckily she was there. But the taxi driver wouldn't leave until he knew that we were okay, which I just thought was amazing.
Yeah, he was above and beyond. He was really good.
Yeah, I thought that was great. So you walk into the apartment, like for all its what's authenticity, like it's it's quite an old building, or like what they all are in the old town there.
So you call it authenticity?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Lyle wasn't very happy when we first got there because the room was quite small, but if you look around where we are now, it's also small. So like that's one of the things with traveling, I guess, is not everything's big. But the thing I liked about it was that the apartment, the people who were running it were so helpful and friendly. There was a communal area which had free coffee, which was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just a coffee machine.
But the cappuccino was great. I don't know. I think we had about $150 worth of coffee.
Yeah.
Our room, there was a lift, a tiny lift, and we shoved both of us in our suitcases in that, which we probably shouldn't have. We probably should have gone one at a time. And it's one of those old-fashioned ones where you've got to open the side doors, and then there's a door on the outside, and you see the cables moving up and down, and clinks and clanks, and it's I
think it may have actually been the first elevator ever built.
If we weren't on the 7th floor, I would have taken the stairs. And then our apartment was sort of off that communal area, and that was the big issue, was that there's like probably 25, 30 stairs trying to get the suitcase up and up and down those stairs. But the bed was a big 4-poster. It was so comfortable, wasn't it?
Yeah, the bed was comfy.
And the shower was tiny, but the European showers generally are, aren't they?
Well, I've got to say, the elevator made the shower made the elevator look big. You couldn't move in the shower at all.
What do you do in the shower that you need to?
Well, you just got to move, like to wash different bits.
Yeah.
And
it was
and you bend down and you've got the handle of the shower. Oh my goodness!
But
too much information.
The view was nice. You looked out the windows, and there's the church steeples and the not a.
Could you really? I was too busy in the shower trying not to get things caught.
And the snow-covered mountain.
That's true. Look, to be honest, I was a little bit agitated when we first got there, but when you put everything together, it was super clean, super clean. And the location, well, I got to say.
Yeah, it was super clean.
The location was excellent.
Right. That I agree. It's probably the best location we've had for a while. Yeah, great location, because once you walk out the door, the lady said, turn left, turn left.
Yeah, and within 100 metres, we were standing in the Piazza facing the famous arena.
The Verona Arena, which looks like the Colosseum.
Yeah, sure. It's a Roman amphitheatre, and then directly in front of us was the the statue of Emmanuel III, and he's on horseback, and you can't beat a good statue on horseback. And he was actually the first king of the United Italy, and that statue was built in made, same thing, 1883.
Okay.
The Piazza, then you look around and the Piazza is just lined with restaurants and cafes. And
yeah, I remember just sort of going, oh, wow, I had no idea to expect that. Beautiful, big, wide outdoor restaurant areas, all covered out, with the big canvas awnings, and the buildings are painted, those pretty colours. There's yellows and the terracottas and the old cobblestones of the pavers, and there's just people wandering around eating ice creams. And then there's as you said, the statue in the middle with there's a fountain and a garden as well in that.
That's right, yeah.
In that middle area, and it's sort of like a big circular plaza, really, isn't it? So on
Yeah.
one side you've got all those beautiful restaurants, then on the other side is the arena.
And then on the other side, you've got other buildings like the City Hall.
Huge big buildings with those big pillars, weren't they?
Yeah. So anyway, we decided we're going to have some lunch.
Yeah.
And we picked one of the restaurants.
We just wanted to sit there and
and it was called the Bar Liston, and both Leanne and I had the Tangaletti, duck rugo.
It's ragu.
That's it.
Yeah.
Duck ragu.
Like Mr. Magoo. Ragu.
Yeah, gotta be honest, it was pretty average.
Yeah, it's probably the most average meal. It was okay, but I'm a bit of a sucker for duck, and I thought it would have the noodles with lots of duck and nice sauce, but it was quite
dry, and the duck was almost like mince.
It was mince, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, but anyway, I had a large beer, which was about €9, and Leonita had a glass of white wine, or as they say here, vino bianco, and that was about $6.
Okay.
So pretty much what you pay in Australia.
Certainly a nice spot. Yeah, wasn't it?
And then we went for a walk along Via Mazzini.
Well, we didn't really know what to do in Verona. We hadn't done a lot of research.
No,
but we followed the crowd, and they were all heading that way. So off we went, and I was, whoa, look, check this out, right?
Seriously, unbelievable.
Yeah, the streets were like marble.
Yeah.
And quite wide, and every shop front was just stunning.
The shop fits were fabulous, and of course you had all the famous brands. There was Gucci, there was Prada, there was any brand you could think of.
I did go in and try on the fancy sunglasses, didn't I? When they're about €400, I'm like, no, you can stick those Pradas up your sunglasses. Anyway,
we walked through it, as Lan said. We followed the crowd, and there was one particular piazza that I'd read about, which is Erbe, ERBE. And so at the end of this street, there was the piazza. It was beautiful.
It was getting a bit darker, wasn't it? Starting to get, the sun was going down, and it was still a bit damp, which I think added to the atmosphere, because it just sort of made the lights all shine a bit more. Had like little market stalls, and a statue, one of your, the statues in the middle there.
Yeah. There was the statue of Madonna of Verona in the fountain area. There was also the Torre dei Lamberti.
I was about to say, one of the first things you see is that massive tower. What is it, 80-something metres
84
high?
metres high, and it was constructed in 1172. And then...
and we went round into the courtyard to have a look at that. There was no one else there, was there?
No. It was quiet. And then you've also got the Palazzo Maffei, and that's...
at the top end there.
At the top end, and it's basically on the top. It's got the 6 statues on the top of the buildings: Hercules, Jupiter, Venus, Mercury, Apollo, and Minerva.
And there's that great big column as well with St. Mark on the top, like the lion.
That's the lion. That's correct. Yeah. So the St. Mark lion's big. It was huge in Venice.
Yes.
But it's still pretty big, because I think it's still part of the same region. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it is. Yeah. Then we had obviously we were thirsty from all that walking, the 10 minutes that it took us. We tried. There was this, as Leanne said, the outside was just lined with these beautiful cafes and restaurants. And one of the buildings, remember, had the frescoes.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, and this.
I was just going to say, once again, I say this every episode, but go to the show notes to go with this episode. This is episode Verona, and
you don't know what the number is, do you?
But I've got all the pictures there.
Because there was a little bit of hesitation
there. Was a bit of hesitation there. It's episode 55, I'll have you know.
Oh, I was going to guess 54.
No. Yeah, episode 55 on our website at beachtravelwine.com. And there'll be pictures of the plaza, of the frescoes, of the tower. And also the other thing that Verona is one of the most things it's famous for is Juliet's balcony.
Yeah, but before we went there...
Yeah, I'm just saying photos I've got around that area. Yes.
Well,
it's only like a 50-metre walk from the plaza, though.
Sure, it wasn't far, but... No. Well, so what we did is we decided then that it was time for an afternoon aperitif. I asked Miss World what she'd like. She said, surprise me. So I ordered a couple of gin and tonics at the restaurant of Masani. Masanti. Yeah, and they were €9.
So, as Lyle said, they were the restaurants and cafes line this little. It's not a big plaza, this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just beautiful.
But the staff were so friendly, and it was actually quite funny.
Yeah.
And the G&T, which I reckon was probably about a triple, €9, very very tasty. We both enjoyed it, and then Liam wanted to go to see the balcony of Juliet.
Well, so does everybody. So
I wasn't that keen, but anyway.
I should have left you having a G&T, shouldn't
I? Yeah, but then I wouldn't have found my way home. So it was only a 5-minute stroll to Juliet's balcony.
Yeah, it was.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
This is important.
Oh, here we go.
Luigi da Porta, a writer from Venetia, he basically published the story of Romeo and Juliet in 1530. 60 years before William Shakespeare.
Well, see, we agree to disagree on this because what you're saying is William Shakespeare didn't write it and none of it's true.
No. He did write it.
Yeah.
No argument there. But Romeo and Juliet
is a story.
Yeah, they don't exist.
Based on characters that in that time, the political and religious.
Yeah, the history side of it is true.
Right. So we don't know that a girl called Juliet stood on that balcony.
No.
Okay.
Well, and they also have Juliet's tomb.
However, it's one of the big, highlights for people going to Verona. So we don't want to ruin that for the whole Verona community. I know they're all listening.
I just think that whoever did the marketing for Romeo and Juliet did an exceptionally good job.
Fair enough. Have you got anything else to add about that beautiful plaza we're at before we move on?
Then we went. we headed back to the Piazza Bra. And we had dinner at the Pizzeria Nastro Azzurro, and I had lasagna. Leanne had a beautiful pizza with seafood and mussels. They were both €13, which is about $21 Australian. Yeah. And we had a bottle of Sauvignon.
Yep.
And that was €30. Look, the food was great, and the waiter there was really good too.
Yeah, it was really nice. So we were up bright and early and decided that we wanted a yummy breakfast. Well, I decided I was a bit hungry, have a yummy breakfast. So we headed, as we said, left and ended back up in Piazza Bra.
Correct. And we had breakfast at the Emmanuel Cafe. It was €16 for a continental breakfast, which included a coffee. And so far, the coffee in Italy has been
great,
absolutely fantastic.
This is the closest restaurant to the arena as well. So
it was opposite. Opposite the arena.
It was a bit earlier, so it wasn't as crowded, which was nice as well.
So that included the coffee.
Yes.
Orange juice. Tell me about the orange juice.
The orange juice is probably the nicest orange juice I've ever tasted, and it was like the colour of tomato juice.
Yeah, I thought it was tomato
Yeah.
juice. And I was a bit sus because I'm not a big rat for tomato juice. I was a bit sus, but as Leanne said, the nicest tomato juice I've ever drank. And I asked the waiter,
come?
where it came from. And he said Sicilian, like I
they're
was
the
a
best
dickhead.
oranges. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have known that.
Yeah,
but
so they were nice. So, and then we had a beautiful plate of
fresh fruit
with some yogurt, and lovely fresh fruit too. It was really nice.
Croissant.
Yes, the croissant with jam in it, which was yummy as well. And then 2 pieces of toast, hot normal toast with butter, because we don't get butter over here. We don't put it on the table, and all the cute little jars of jam.
Yeah. Look, at €16. You're sitting opposite the arena. Is it a bit of a rip-off? Probably. But the quality of it was great.
Well, the thing is, breakfast that size, you don't need lunch. So,
That's true.
Yeah, so I thought it was pretty good. But then we decided, like we do in most cities, we either do a hop-on bus or, a tuk-tuk or something. And this town had like a little tourist train that we went on. And it's not so we can, hop on, hop off and see everything. It's so you get a lay of the land, really, isn't it? You probably go places and in your mind you know where things are, and then you can go back and walk. And Verona's not a big city, so it's easily walkable. And I thought it was a good €5 spent.
Yeah, it's only, I think, maximum 45 minutes maybe.
Yeah. So we did that, and of course it dropped us back off where we got on.
Yeah.
And so we knew we had our bearings, we knew where we were going, and so
that was at the top of Bra.
Oh yeah, we called it the Bra Plaza.
Plaza, yeah.
True. And then we went to the Castle Vechio. Yeah.
Yeah, so just a short walk.
Can I say I wanted to go there? I mean, you wanted to go because you like the history side of it. I wanted to go so I could go across the bridge, right?
Sure.
Okay, so I thought you had to go in and to go across the bridge. That's what I could see. So we paid our money and went in, didn't we?
Yeah, that was, I think it was €6.
Yeah, and it was more of a art gallery, wasn't it?
Yeah, very much an art gallery.
If you want to see like Madonna and all her, friends.
Yeah, look, the Castle Vechio, it was built between 1354 and 1376. It's an important military construction of the Scala dynasty, which is the Scala family, Scala, that ruled the city in the Middle Ages. Very, very minimal decoration. Yeah. It's red brick, Gothic architecture. It has 7 towers and it had a moat.
Yeah, well, it's, as I said, it's an art gallery now. It's not like the castles that you sometimes walk through and they've got the rooms still decorated as they were. There's none of that. But you can walk along the top of the walls and you can see where the moats were. I thought that was really impressive, actually. But as I said, I thought you could actually walk from that because you told me that one of the people that used to live there built a bridge so he could get away.
Yeah, just in case. He was a bit of a tyrannical ruler, and he built the bridge basically so that if there was rebellion or whatever, he'd get away quicker.
Yeah. And go to the show notes with this episode 55, and there's some really nice pictures of the bridge because it's a really unusual construction, isn't it? Like it's got along the side of it, it's got those, well, they're not pillars, but it's decoration. There's more decoration on the outside of the bridge. The bridge matches the castle, with the little turret-looking things all the way over the bridge. And you can go walk over the bridge and take lots of photos. I really liked it. But the thing that I was getting to is you don't actually have to go into the castle to go on the bridge. You walk out we walked back out the front door, and we went around the corner, and there was the entrance to the bridge, which was free to go across, wasn't it?
Yeah. The Castel Vechio Bridge, commonly known as the Ponte Scaligero Bridge.
Yeah.
It's obviously over the Adige River. It was built in 1354. Now, this is going to surprise you. Segmental arch bridge featured the world's largest span at the time of its construction. It was 48.7 meters wide.
Wow.
So I knew you'd be excited about that. And it was destroyed by the retreating Germans, and it was reconstructed in 1951.
We even got a selfie on the bridge, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
We remember we had a selfie stick. We look like real tourists, but anyway.
Look, going back to the actual, as you said, the inside of the castle is basically just an art gallery.
It's got the crucifix pitch,
that was the crucifix. The crucifix and the weepers. And
yes.
Look, as Leanne said, there's paintings of Madonna, Madonna of the Quail, Madonna of the Rose Garden, Madonna with Child. And like obviously
Madonna.
Very, very, very religious.
Yes, I did get some nice photos of it though, but even the security guard was getting a little bit bored, remember?
Yeah, that's right. She fell asleep.
And I was going to get a photo, but every time I went to do it, she did the head nod, and she'd sort of wake up again as if to say, I'm here.
And you rudely suggested that if I was doing that job, I'd be doing exactly the same.
Well, I reckon you would too.
Thing.
I reckon you'd do the nod.
You'd have to be bored shitless, wouldn't you?
It would. Yes, you would. So we go across the river, and the river's quite full and running because there's been a lot of rain in Italy when we're here. So it's quite brown and it's quite nasty looking, isn't it?
Very rapid.
Very, very lots of yes, it is running very, very rapidly. The river runs rapidly. We could do a limerick on that. Anyway,
you probably could.
The other place I really wanted to go was up to the castle on the side of the hill, up the funicular. Yeah. San Pietro, wasn't it?
Yeah, San Pietro. Look, we could, I suppose it was probably in about another 20-minute walk, but we could see, we were going to do that the next day, but we sort of looked at it. It was only 20 minutes and, what else are you going to do?
I'm sort of on the way of thinking, do what you can while you can, because you never know what could happen, like whether something will happen with, the weather or, trains or whatever. I thought we're here, why not do it? It wasn't the best day, and I always like to go when it's sunny to get nice photos, but, it doesn't matter. We went up. It was a nice walk along the river. You walk all the way along the river.
Yeah, it was about a 20-minute walk.
Yeah.
Along the Adige. It's Adige, Adige River, which is the second longest in Italy and flows at 410 kilometres into the Adriatic Sea. We caught the funicular to the top of the Castel San Pietro, which is just the Colle is the hill. It's 180 metres long with an elevation of 55 kilometres. It didn't take long at all.
No. I've got a photo of us going up that as well.
And the cost is €3 for adults.
And how much was it for you?
And Leanne made it very embarrassing. She said, you can take the seniors, honey. And so that's...
you got €1.
€2 for us seniors.
Hey, there was the euro that you paid for the toilet. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now the views, there is a building at the top.
You can walk up. Let me say that.
Oh yeah, well we walked down.
Yeah, we did walk down. I was going to get to that, but that's okay. It's all right. I love the.
I'm sure you'll fit it in somewhere, but the views over the city, and I'm sure Leanne got some fabulous photos.
I did, yes. To go with the episode, I did some nice views back down from a lot of the little vantage points that are up the top. As I was saying, the views were incredible, and that's why people go up the funicular or walk up to the top of the hill here. And you're looking back down, so you're on one side of Verona, and the Adige River is at the bottom, and there's several bridges that you can see going across, including the one that we walked across from the castle. As I said before, the river was flowing quite rapidly, and there were actually people in boats. I'm trying to think of the name of the boats. They're not like normal rowboats, like the rafting boats, really. They had the big sort of blow up, and
that's right.
They're paddling down the river, and I'm like, there's no way in the world I would do that. But they were squealing and having a lovely time. So you basically have got the best panoramic views of Verona from up there, and I did get some really nice photos of that area, and there's some lovely sort of green hills around as well. So you've got all the orange terracotta rooftops of the old buildings in Verona, and you've got the spire or the tower of the Duomo and the other churches. You can see those really easy. The Duomo is the biggest.
Saint Anastasia's
is the biggest church in Verona. And, you know, as I said, the greenery and we've got some nice photos around that area as well. And you can sort of, they've got like a pathway around that you can get lots of different vantage points of the different areas and to take the views, don't they? And, and while we're up there, we decided we'd go and have a look at, they had a free Dante, who's a writer and an artist. They had a free exhibition.
I've heard of Dante.
They must have different exhibitions. So when we're there, it was the Dante or Dante exhibition.
Yeah.
You'd heard of him.
I'd heard of him, but I really didn't know much about him. But
you do now, though.
I do. I sort of do. Like, in fact, I want to know more because I was so impressed. Dante was a poet, basically, and Dante wrote the Inferno.
So that's about, you know, going into hell and stuff, isn't
it? Basically to encourage readers and to teach religious truth. In the Inferno, Dante imagines himself traveling through hell to reach the nation of the blessed. Now, basically, this exhibition was paintings of Dante done by other artists, and they were so impressive. Like I actually said to Leanne that
I've got a few photos of those as well because I picked out a few different ones that I quite liked. Yeah,
because I said to Leanne once, I just said, some of these will make fantastic, you know, T-shirts like the. But anyway, so Dante was this is his claim to fame, basically, his main claim to fame. Dante was the first to write in Italian Florence local dialect rather than Latin. Dante's Inferno was painted by Botticelli.
Right, and that shows I don't know how many layers it is because that's in the one of those Da Vinci Code type movies, you know, and they talk about the different layers of you know, sinners and how, you know, how bad you are and all that, you know, and it gets worse and worse and worse until it gets better.
And because originally I thought when it was an exhibition of Dante, I thought Dante did the paintings, but no,
people painted about
him, and then in most of the paintings, Dante's included in them. So
and there's this big statue of him up the top there too.
Yeah. Anyway, we were so excited about Dante's exhibition, we decided to have a drink up on the top of the hill. There's some San Pietro Colle.
What is it?
The Colle San Pietro.
Okay.
So we went to, and it's called, the actual cafe is called Teodorio. And you got to say, the views weren't bad.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. And we sat there under a big shady tree and looked out over the views. And I had a glass of wine, and you know, you had a beer. And they every time you sit down and buy a drink, they give you potato chips.
Yeah,
so,
they do.
You know, we almost worked off our continental breakfast, but that was the chips were enough to keep us going for a while, weren't they?
Yeah.
And then so after that which was really nice. What? Sorry, did I interrupt you?
No, not at all.
No, go on.
Oh, I was just going to mention about the fact that we bought a return ticket.
We did buy a return. Well, geez, I think Lyle's not going to need me on the show anymore. He's got all the info. He's got all the descriptions going on and everything. I was about to say, so then we decided Lyle decided we're going to walk down. And I said, well, why would you do that when you've paid for a return funicular ride, which, you know, we had. So that's a waste of was it €1 of yours and €1.50 of mine. We walked down the hill, which actually was very pleasant.
Thank you.
Yes, it was. We stopped and got some nice little photos. There's some roses and things around some doors, and, you know, like some more views on the way down. And it was quite an easy walk down because I got a bit of a dicky knee, so sometimes the stairs can be a bit of a pain. But these were quite wide stairs and had railings and everything. So yeah, it was a nice little walk down, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And when we got to the bottom, we had to walk home again.
No, we didn't.
But first we crossed over another bridge.
And it's called the San Pietro Bridge.
Right?
And that was also destroyed by the Germans.
And that's right. We decided we're going to do the Duomo another day, but we decided we'd do it then. Yeah.
Correct. We did the Duomo.
Duomo.
Duomo. what is it? Duomo.
Yeah.
Duomo Cathedral
Yes.
di Santa Maria. Look, it's a Roman architecture. It opened in 1187. Original church was destroyed in an earthquake by earthquake in 1117. Current appearance dates back to the 15th century. Inside, it has a nave and two aisles divided by the pilasters, which are...
They're not columns.
They're not columns. I looked it up because I didn't have a clue it was. They the difference between the column and the pilasters is the columns can actually hold the weight of the roof, where these things are decorative. But they're done in Verona marble, and the height and the beauty of them, it blew me away. It was so nice.
And they're so big. I was trying to imagine. I think you'd probably need about 5 people holding hands to get your arms around the bottom of the columns. So
they're just huge.
Sorry, not columns, the other word, but
Pilasters.
There we go. The thing I was amazed about, and it was actually lucky that we walked in from crossing the river to the Duomo, because it said entrada this way, so entrance. So you actually go in through the back of the church, which was pretty handy. Then we didn't have to walk all the way around the front of it, where the front doors are.
And just on the right-hand side with the baptistry.
That's right. That's where we took some photos in there.
Yeah, that was where you made
me. Yeah, I did too.
I'll go to hell for this.
Oh, never mind. It's a good photo though. Good photo op. But inside the main part of the church, Lyle's walking around with his mouth open, because in Europe you see a lot of churches. There's a couple of things about this one that was different to me. There was a lot of decoration with fresh flowers, and there were lilies that just smelt divine, white lilies, and they were beautiful. But also, each sort of panel in the wall from floor to ceiling was like a story. It wasn't just like artwork of, the baby Jesus and the Virgin. They had those, but then all around them was like blue skies and almost, I don't know, like it's just very different. It was like they looked also they had depth to them. So it was just stunning artwork. I found.
Yeah, well, they're the chapels. What you're talking about there,
yes.
And part, I think, of the chapels, because they're different families that donate to that.
Sure.
And as we've learned previously, and I think part of the artwork, which would have been commissioned by the families, was about their family.
Yeah, stories.
Yeah, so that was pretty impressive. Yeah. Look, I thought it was great. The entry was €4 per head, and Leanne asked if there were seniors. She did, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, because she was on a bit of a roll by this stage. She thought she was being very funny.
Yeah.
Thought being my favourite word there. And it's open from 11 till 5:30 p.m. and Sunday 1:30 to 5:30. Look, definitely worth a visit.
And there's definitely no seniors discount.
No.
Yeah. Even if you're not into churches, it's worth it. It was worth it. And it wasn't crowded like I thought it might be.
No.
More people want to go and see the fake Juliet's balcony than
the
Duomo, right?
I don't get it, but anyway, that's just me.
But I got some nice photos of that too. So check them out at beachtravelwine.com, episode 55. So we had to then walk from the Duomo back home, and we passed through Piazza Erbe one more time.
Yes.
And we determined that we'd been in Italy long enough now that we should have a gelato.
Yes, we did. We had a gelato at Amorino's.
Yeah, and that's around. That's in some. There was somewhere else. There was one of those, and people were lining up everywhere. Oh, in Milan. Yeah. So anyway, go on.
So the two ice creams were...
We got the small cone with the chocolate topping.
Yes, and it was $9.40 for both of them. And you got the choice of 3 flavours. Leanne said to me, I've always wanted to try the pistachio.
Yeah, well, my daughter-in-law Talia said it was yummy. So I trusted her, and it was. It was actually really nice.
Yeah, and I had like a cherry ripe one, which the fresh cherries in it were just to die for. And the
thing about the 3 flavours is they don't just put one scoop on top of the other like they do at home. They actually put them around the outside like make it look like a flower.
They do.
Yeah, it was pretty.
I actually didn't notice that, but that's because I'm a dumb male. But Leanne said, have a look at the design, how they've done it. And I've gone, yes, that is impressive.
I will include a picture of Lyle eating a flower ice cream in the show notes as well.
Thank you. That will enhance my reputation.
So we've had a continental breakfast. We've had chips up at the mountain. Now we've had an ice cream.
Yeah, very healthy.
Time for a decent feed.
Yeah. So we ended up going out for dinner. We thought we'd just go off the plaza, yeah, which we we'll probably trying to find something a bit cheaper, but and it wasn't far around. But anyway, so the actual restaurant was called Demos, and Leanne asked the waiter what the carbonara was like, and he said it's world famous.
He did say it was world famous.
And so we both said, put our hands up and said, okay, we'll both have it.
Initially, I said, I'll have the carbonara. Is it good? And he said, it's world famous. And Lyle instantly changed his mind from what he was going to have and decided he was going to have the world famous carbonara as well.
And it was so rich. So rich. And they had it was carbonara with bacon.
It was smoked bacon, but it was almost like pork belly. It was
it was so tasty. Mm-hmm. And you can't have dinner without a bottle of the brand name was actually Germain, Germann Sauvignon, and it was about €30. And
it was good.
I think the carbonara was about €12. But yeah, the wine was great. So far, the wine everywhere we've had has been fabulous. And then we decided we better head home.
Yeah, we did.
And went and had a sleep.
Yes, because it had been a big day, right?
Yeah.
Now, we knew following the weather forecast that the next day was going to be sunny.
Perfecto.
And we had been told by the lady who owned the apartment that if we're going to go to Lake Garda, that would be a good place to go in the sunshine. And so I got online and booked a half-day trip to Lake Garda and to a little town called Sirmione. And it was a fabulous day tour, and we are going to – it was so beautiful and so much information and such a surprise and just everything, Italy's largest lake. We're going to do a whole separate podcast just on that day trip, aren't we?
Yeah, no pressure.
No pressure, no. We're going to do that tomorrow, no. So, so keep listening to that because that is just absolutely stunning. So we had a wonderful day doing that, and we learnt about a nice wine as well on that day, which we've now decided is our favourite Italian wine, Lugana.
Yes.
Yeah, but you're going to tell us about that in the next podcast as well. But after a big day, we decided we were going out at night. Where were we going, Lyle?
Well, we just, we had a bit of an afternoon siesta. We had a bit of time.
Because we were going out.
Yeah, because we were going out. And we went to, again, we were trying to find something that was a little bit more authentic, local.
Yes.
And we succeeded. We definitely succeeded. The actual bar is called La Tradicion, and there was people lined up.
Well, not when we got there. We got in and
they sort of were, but they got in first. And when we walked in, we were lucky enough to get a table. It was around 5 p.m. And we ordered. I tried my first spritz. And that was €8, and I thought how nice it was. Really, really good.
Yeah, everyone's drinking spritz, aren't they?
Yeah,
and we learned a bit more about that too.
Yeah, we did. We learned more about that, and the fact that it's quite low alcohol. So
a good starting drink.
Yeah,
and really the local one is called. Well, it's spelt Hugo, but they pronounce it Ugo.
Ugo, yeah. And Leanne really enjoyed that, and it's like the bit of mint flavour. They have fresh mint in
French
it.
Mint.
Especially, they had that at the La Tradicion.
And we had something to eat there, which was so yummy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bruschetta, and I've got probably tapas. It was €14 for both of us.
It was the special of the day, and it was like €10, I think.
Yeah, and it was sort of like on toast with ricotta cheese. The ham was like ham from Spain. It was so beautiful.
And he was slicing that off the bone.
And topped with artichoke. And I'd never been game enough to have artichoke before, and I'm not sure why, but I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was nice.
And then, as Leanne said, we found out on this tour about the wine Lugana, and so we decided we were going to try that, and we tried that, and it was €18 for the bottle, and my goodness,
it was good, wasn't it?
My goodness, really, really good. When I sort of investigated, they said if you like Pinot Grigio or Sauv Blanc, you're more than likely going to enjoy the Lugana. And it's I won't go too much into it.
No, let's not. No, don't go any more into it because that's going to be in our next podcast.
But it would simply said, great. Spectacular.
But now can we get to the exciting part of the day?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, I mean, building up to this, and you keep putting in food and drink, which is
go on.
part of our day.
Sure.
What we talked about the Verona Arena over and over and over. And, of course, you can go inside. And Lyle one day said, we'll just go and get some tickets. And I said, see those people there, all the way back around, the corner? They're all lined up for tickets, so we're not doing that. And he got on his little Google and had a look and found out that there was actually a concert on that night by an artist called Albano. And we had no idea who Albano is, but, we decided, imagine seeing a live concert inside the arena would be the perfect way to do it. So we wrestled ourselves some tickets. I don't know how. We got some of the best tickets in the house because they were almost sold out, weren't they?
Yeah, I think we got the last 2 tickets, and they just happened to be
right up the front.
Right up the front. We were about 20 rows back, and we were...
we didn't have anyone in front of us. We had the aisle in front of us.
The aisle in front of us.
And the only people that walked through there were the security guards.
Yeah, and the people on either side of us, you spoke to the people, they were from Germany, weren't they?
Yeah.
And lovely people dressed to the nines. And then the 2 people on my left-hand side, there was two couples, and they were the best dressed people I've ever seen in my entire life.
A little bit better dressed than Australians, right?
And seriously, good-looking people.
And so the arena lit up at night with the concert is fantastic because it can seat, 15,000?
Yeah, originally, when it was the Roman, for a better word, Colosseum, it was it could hold 30,000. Now, because of safety measures and all that, they restricted to 15. I think there was 13,000 at the concert at Albano concert. Now, Albano, he's a 79-year-old guy. He's famous for his 4.5 octave range, so he's basically a tenor. And he had some guests with him, and it's his ex-wife, and her name was Romano Power, and she was the daughter of Tyrone Power, which...
I had no idea who that was. So
no, he was a famous American actor who died...
And they were married for something like 40 years, so they obviously still get on. They're actually doing a tour of Australia in October.
Yeah, they are. And there was another guy who's, now this guy's Renato Zero is his stage name. His actual surname is Viacini, and he's 72-year-old too. And he's the only artist to top the Italian charts in 6 different decades. And the backing band...
Yeah, it was an orchestra.
Was the Verona Philharmonic Orchestra.
Lyle's getting louder and louder. He's getting so excited about this concert.
It started at 9 o'clock.
He's even got the Italian hands going.
I have. It started at 9 o'clock, and we left because we thought it was like they were doing the encores, and it was still going at 1 o'clock in the morning. We could hear it when we were laying in our bed.
They call, did I say this already, Albano Italians Tom Jones?
Yeah, no, you haven't, but yeah.
That's who they liken him to. I don't know that that's true. The concert was great. The atmosphere was great. The arena was great. I loved everything about it. The only thing was they talked a lot in between songs. like so much.
I would say a minimum of 5 minutes between each song.
Sometimes even more, and we're just sitting there with
We had no idea
what was
what
being said.
talking about.
And neither should we,
No.
we're in Italy. And I think, after a few hours, we just were like, oh my gosh, I just can't sit here and have no idea what's going on. People are laughing and I'm pretending to laugh and clap when they were clapping. I've got some
I think it had something to do with the Lagana wine that we had before.
Shush. I got some spectacular photos inside the arena as well. So check them out. On beachtravelwine.com, episode 55.
Now, can I tell you that the tickets were €167 to go and see someone we had no idea who they were. The Roman amphitheatre built in 30 AD.
Pretty young.
Predates the Colosseum, which was built in 80 AD, but is small. 80 AD, but is smaller. Now they also every year they have an annual opera season, I knew of that. So it
was set up for concerts, chairs and everything.
Yeah, it's basically world famous for that. So, but then are you going to tell them about when we went outside?
Sure. So we did leave, but we decided we'd have one more drink on the way home. And as we sat out under the restaurants outside under the arena, and there were people, the tables were full, and you could hear the songs like plain as day, and they were singing along with every word of every song, and it was actually quite hilarious and entertaining, wasn't it?
Oh, look, it reminded me a bit of home, like a concert at home where everybody, like these guys must have been something else in their day.
If Jimmy Barnes was singing San, everyone would be saying the last train out of Sydney is almost.
So everybody knew
I know
every
it's not
word.
train. I know it's not train.
And then they got up and they were dancing, and this is in the look seriously.
Outside in the plaza at night time.
Fabulous atmosphere.
It was great. Well, as you can see, we had a thoroughly great time in Verona, and it's certainly they say it's one of the most visited cities in Italy, but a lot of the Australians that come to Italy don't tend to go to Verona, and I reckon you should. Do you reckon they should?
Oh yeah, I thought it was fabulous, and such an easy walking city.
Yeah, there's so much to see. Easy walking. You don't need a long time there, but it's beautiful. All the churches and the river, and especially in the sunshine, it's it sort of glows with all those lovely tile roofs. But Lyle, you knew this was coming, did you?
Oh, yes.
How could you not? Where was your favourite place to have a wine in Verona?
Oh, it's a hard one. I've got to say, probably after the concert, sitting in the Plaza, watching all the locals singing and dancing to Albano. That was fabulous.
Yeah, it was fabulous. Well, my favourite place would be up at the funicular at the cafe bar up there, where we're sitting with the views of the city. Was pretty spectacular, I thought.
I would have said the same if we had not been to the concert.
Yeah. And a special mention is the
La Tradition. Is that what you were going to say? Yeah. Beautiful. Well done. Really good restaurant.
Yeah, great cafe, bar,
whatever you want to call it. It was really well run too.
It was great. So go to the website www.beachtravelwine.com for episode 55, where you can read all the show notes that go with this episode, and also see all the pictures that I have taken there. And also there's a map I've put on the website, the page, where you can sort of see where Verona is in relation to the rest of Italy. And we'd just like to say again, thank you to those people who have reached out to us and, been telling us how much they're enjoying the podcast. And as I said last time, we know that most of you are listening on Apple or Spotify. So if you've listened this far, you must enjoy it. So it'd be great if you could go and leave a review for us, or a star rating would be awesome. We're really appreciating you guys doing that. And also, if you have someone that has been to Italy or is going to travel to Italy, then share this podcast with them. We're going to be doing, this is part of a whole series that we're doing, and there's going to be a page on the website which just has all the Italian information. So check it out, and we will see you somewhere next time around Italy. See you or not.
Arrivederci.
Bye.